somebody ranked 67th in the world almost beat Spain, not lost badly, almost beat them. And that's not even the craziest thing that's happened at this World Cup. If you've been half following this tournament, you've probably heard the word upset more times than you can count. But here's the thing. Nobody's actually explained why this World Cup has been such a disaster for the favorites. So let's fix that. 5 minutes. Every shock explained. Stick around, because the last one changes how you should watch the rest of this tournament. Cape Verde. Population, about 500,000 people. Ranked 67th in the world. First ever World Cup appearance. In theory, this is a feel-good story where they lose politely and go home. In practice, they held Spain, one of the tournament favorites, to a scoreless draw. Then, they came back from behind to draw Uruguay, the actual first ever World Cup winners. This sounds like a fluke. It isn't. It's a pattern. Here's where it gets interesting. This tournament expanded to 48 teams, more countries, more chances for smaller nations to show up. The theory was that this would make things easier for the giants. Bigger cushion, easier groups. It did the opposite. The favorites have looked stretched thin, jet-lagged, and rattled. You know the type? The team that's talented on paper, but looks lost the second the game gets physical and uncomfortable. Let's talk about Germany, 4-time champions. Not a team you expect to lose to anyone outside the top 10. They ran into Paraguay in the round of 32. Paraguay had just been thrashed by the USA in their opening match. Everyone wrote them off. Then they turned around and took Germany to penalties and won 4-3. That's not a nail-biter. That's one of the biggest shocks in World Cup knockout history. If you've watched a World Cup in the last few years, you know Morocco doesn't play the underdog role quietly. They went and knocked out the Netherlands in the round of 32, winning on penalties after equalizing in stoppage time. This is the same Morocco that reached a World Cup semifinal a few years back. So this isn't luck. This is a program that's figured something out that a lot of bigger federations haven't. Not every shock gets the headlines it deserves. Australia beat Turkey 2-0. Turkey was supposed to be a dark horse. Instead, Australia simply outworked them for 90 minutes. This one matters because it's not flashy. There's no penalty drama, no last-minute goal. Just one team wanting it more than the other. And that's honestly scarier if you're a favorite watching from the sidelines. So what's actually going on here? It's not really about talent gaps closing overnight. It's scheduling, heat, travel between host cities, and squads full of players who now play against Europe's best every single week for their clubs. The fear factor is gone. Smaller nations don't walk into these games intimidated anymore. They walk in expecting to compete. And that changes everything about how these matches play out. The 2026 World Cup was supposed to be easier for the big teams. Instead, it turned into the most unpredictable tournament in years, because the gap between favorite and underdog has basically disappeared. So here's a question worth sitting with. If a team ranked 67th can hold Spain scoreless, is favorite even a real category anymore, or just a label we haven't updated yet? If this helped make sense of the chaos, subscribe, because the knockout rounds are about to get even weirder.